Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. The water's gone down. Just got home maybe 15 minutes ago. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's about 3:30. Just got home. First time since around 10:30 last night that I've been home longer than maybe just a couple of minutes. I've stopped by the house a couple of times. I came by once to change my boots, put dry socks on. Been busy. Those pictures that I showed you, most of those I've taken. There's a few that a couple of my guys took, but yeah, pretty significant. Here where I'm standing, this is our creek, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning, it would have been about at this level, and I'm standing up on gravel, obviously, so that I'm not standing in the water. I've not seen any definitive numbers, but the numbers that they were throwing around in this area, somewhere between 12, 15 inches of potential that we've had come down, which is quite significant. It's broken a lot of records, especially for this time of the year. Most all the rivers around here have broken records for the height that they're at now, as you saw in some of those pictures. Now, I'm gonna make it clear. I know you don't know every one of them, but most of those pictures, especially the ones with the big, wide water, none of the rivers around here are any more than, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 foot wide. They're just not. I don't know that there's any of those rivers that in normal stages would be hardly even more than 100 foot wide. And some of them were hundreds of feet wide. We in our district, we have had no casualties. Thank the Father. But there has been some drownings south of us. A couple of houses and stuff been destroyed, that kind of stuff. We were out, myself. Well, there was 4 of us on the call, and 2 of us went in the water. Myself and one of my firefighter guys. We went in. About chest deep of flood water for several hundred feet to get to a family that was stranded. Probably one of the worst rescues that we've done that has happened here in our area. There were a few other ones that weren't quite as that, but that one was a little serious. But everyone come out okay. Even got their little dog out with them too. So they were the wife was very concerned about her dog getting out, which I understand that. And their dog was just shivering and shaking and cold and scared. But everything ended up being okay there. There are a lot of roadways around here are damaged severely or even destroyed. There's several roads that you saw a few pictures there. Of course, I'm not going to show you everything. That it's just absolutely impassable. You cannot get through there. But Things are doing good. Most of the waters have already started receding, like here, and there's a few of the bigger rivers that everything's flooding into is finally cresting, so they're starting to go down a little bit. There are some major roads that are still you can't get across because there's a lot of flooding. But anyways, that's pretty much, that wraps it up in a big nutshell. I mean, I'm exhausted. We've been running calls and rescues and driving around making sure roadways are open and stuff for 18 hours straight now. And you know what? There was a big election today, and I couldn't tell you anything about what happened. I don't know. I mean, I know the polls, I think, have closed on the East Coast now. I have no idea if there's any, exit polling going on. I don't know. There's a part of me that finds a little bliss to that, because regardless of who you're going to vote for or how excited you are to vote, pretty much everyone deep down inside can kind of say they just, this day is just, it's dramatic and a lot of baloney getting thrown about, and it's like, just rip the Band-Aid off and get it over with. Whether the good guy or the bad guy, or they're both the bad guy, both good, whatever, it doesn't matter. At this point, it's like getting diagnosed with a, terminal illness. Like whether they're going to tell me I'm not going to die or that I've got 3 months to live. I just want to know, right? But we got to go through all the junk, and so kind of nice today not having to be part of that. I know I'm probably rambling, right? You know, I've had a few people in the comments this morning when I posted that video, and people are just dumb, nasty, whatever. While the flooding isn't quite as severe as some of the areas in North Carolina, some of those areas got 30 inches of rain over a 36-hour period. We got about 30 inches of rain over about a 3-day period. We got, like I said, 12, some places 15 inches of rain in, you know, a little over 24 hours, maybe 30 hours. Still very significant, probably comparable to some areas in like eastern Tennessee and stuff. But one of the things that we've been doing right here in our area with our fire department and our ERT, which are both volunteered, no one gets paid, we're not taxable. It's like everyone gets weird about that when I mention that I'm a volunteer fireman. Oh, you work for the government. Well, do you call 911 if you need help? Because if you're going to criticize someone that works as a firefighter, whether they're volunteer or paid, then heaven help you if you have to call 911, because then you're a hypocrite, right? Anyways, I'll get off that soapbox real quick. But I talked this morning about, what we were doing, and some people were criticizing and some people were questioning, and it must not be too bad if people are doing pretty good. Well, what we've done as a fire department and in our emergency response team that work together is I think we've done a really good job of educating the public. We've been out there online and social media and in person, just trying to wake people up about getting prepared, getting ready for, if there's wildfires, if there's tornadoes and stuff. And then several days leading up to this, we were warning people, you need to take this serious. You need to be ready. A couple of weeks ago, myself, and a couple other guys, we put on a public class here on preparedness during disasters. It was kind of following after the Helene hurricane and flooding over there in the Appalachians. So we did kind of ironic, we did a public class on how to prepare for disasters such as that. And I think things like that actually help. I don't know. I want to believe that it did. And so I think that was part of the reason why, casualties and injuries and stuff were actually extremely low. Most of the injuries that we've heard because of this in this area were all really minor, cuts and scrapes and bruises, nothing too severe. And so the point is that you can do this. It works for you as an individual or as a family, but also as your tribe, your community, your mag, that kind of stuff. You can't be prepared for everything, right? I mean, a lot of people were saying that over there in North Carolina and stuff, like, well, some of that damage was so bad that there's no way you can prepare for it. True, to a certain extent, but just being a prepared mind, a person that is just kind of ready, and you're thinking in that way, even when a disaster hits in a way that there's no way to really prepare for it, you already have that mindset, and you kind of know how to handle things, and you're able to think quickly and out of the box. And so that's part of it. We've got to do that. You can transfer that same line of thinking over to the stuff going on in politics, the stuff going on in the globalist, Marxist, Satanists, beast system that's trying to take everything over. You can't plan for everything. You can't be prepared for every possible thing that will happen. But if you work towards preparedness and self-sufficiency, you're just getting your whole self, your whole mind, everything just kind of trained to just be ready for things, to know how to properly react to things. And so that's kind of really the message I want to get across. As far as what's going on in the election, like I said, I really don't know. I have no clue. The last I heard that several states, I don't know how many, I thought it was more than a dozen, but I could be completely wrong. But several states had activated or put their National Guard on at least a standby status of some sort in the possibility and the preparations of some type of civil unrest due to the election, whether it goes one way or the other. Who knows? In the end, by this point, what's going to happen is going to happen, right? you can go out and vote if some of you have time left, but the reality is whichever direction this is going to go, it's already set in stone. Probably has been for a long while, and we just have to be ready for that. And it could catch us completely off guard, in a good or bad way. But I think either way, like I've said quite often here lately, is that regardless of what happens in the White House over the next few months, the direction of this nation is just in a bad place. It's in a bad way. And no matter how good of a person that you could potentially elect as president, there's a lot of things it's just going to go bad, period. There's nothing you can do to stop it. We just have to prepare. That's not being defeatist. That's just recognizing that you're not going to stop the dollar from collapsing because we're $37 trillion in debt. There's no president that's going to reduce that amount of debt. And so we just have to be ready for the aftermath of all those choices. And so that's really what we have to do. And I look at the same way with this election. At this point, what's done is done, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. But all the bad stuff that's going to happen because of that or used as an excuse, it's coming at us. We need to get ready and get prepared. And a lot of that is up here. It's just having that mindset to know how to make it through a really rough time, no matter how long it may be, and kind of think outside the box and improvise, adapt, overcome, and just be ready in general. Folks, you need to be doing this because it's happening. These events are happening. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.